Oh, good Saturday morning. It's steamy. It is only in the upper 60s, which is, rare for this time of year for us. But the humidity is so high, it feels, like it's 100 outside. And it's a good thing I started my AC. This thing is getting kind of old, and it's having a real hard time getting it cool in here if I start this, during the day after this building has had a chance to heat up. But has a real hard time cooling it down. So anyway, I'm gonna work kind of slow today. Oh, here's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to show you, I have two more knives that are not down here, but I wanted to show you what I've got and what I'm working on. And this is the one I'm going to do some experimentation. You may never see it again. I'm not doing this today, or I may will, but this morning, first thing I'm going to do is get these all cleaned up and pretty and sharpened and, ready to go back to the fella that bought them. And next, cleavers. I'm probably going to start on cleavers. This sheath came with this, but it's junk. It's not junk, it's just not intended. The knife is way too big for that. And this is in really good shape. All I'm going to do is clean it up and polish the brass. The blade itself is in excellent shape. And this is, I'm going to give you a close-up here. And I don't know if it has a number on it sometimes. Yeah, it does. Is that a number? No, sometimes the number is stamped into the brass, but not this time. And that knife goes with this sheath. It's a very nice sheath. It does appear to be mass produced, not hand sewn, not handmade, but it's a good looking sheath. And I can actually sell that. Hold on, let me back you out. I can sell that, quickly. This one I got to polish up, and I'm going to make a sheath for that. And that's the one that came in that kinfolk sheath. I was wrong, not this one. This one is the only one that's going to need a bunch of work. I mean, I'm not excluding that. That's just a project and an experiment. This one has been sharpened with a freaking stone or, a rock or something. But I can make it pretty. I can clean it all up. That's going to take a lot of work. Anyway, so this, I'm probably going to get these cleaned up, sharpened, and ready to go. And then I'll work on this and offer it for sale today. And I will work on cleavers. That is not spoken for. It's a small cleaver. And these two cleavers are. As a matter of fact, one of them I received a partial payment for. So, and that's getting the box elder burl. I got this in yesterday. It's not as thick as I thought I was going to get. And by the time I slice it down the middle, and then you deduct the kerf, the thickness of the blade that I'll be using to cut it, there's not going to be much left over. So I might just use this for dinner skinner handles. And then I have this desert ironwood, which it is thicker, right? Yeah. I could split that down the middle and use it on here, but I have this final piece of wenge wood, and this is going to Jim. And Jim, if you watch, let me know what you like, the wenge wood or the desert ironwood. And anyway, all right, here we go. I'm fixing to get to work. Okay, not bad. I got to clean all the polishing compound off of them, but I tell you, some of them, they ate pits into the steel, and there's just no way to get these pits out unless, I basically build a knife all over again. And The name of the acid that is in dishwashing liquid is alkyl benzene sulfonic acid. Alkyl, A-L-K-Y-L. I'm not even going to try. A-K-Y-L. Benzene sulfonic acid. And that is a chemical that eats food away, and dishwashing liquid is, or the powder or anything you put in your dishwasher is extremely harsh. And even if you have good cutlery, I'm not talking about your everyday knives that, who cares if they get a little ate up, but if you have higher end cutlery, you sure want to wash them by hand, because they'll even eat. Where they start eating is the edge of all knives, whether it's even stainless steel. It's acid, and they're very, very harsh chemicals in dishwashing liquid, and it's safe for everything. Ceramic dishes, your non-stick pans. Really, I'm not sure about non-stick pans. I wash my non-stick pans, all of them, by hand. And my good knives, I wash by hand. But, our junk knives that, I'll give you an example. I have Rada cutlery, R-A-D-A, Rada cutlery, which I'm an affiliate. I don't even bother advertising that anymore. It's good cutlery, but it's lower end for the everyday person like me, or a lower income person like me. And you can throw them in a dishwasher, and when they get to a point where the dishwashing stuff is just destroyed, then throw them away, buy some more, or bring them down to my shop and I'll sharpen them. But the higher end cutlery, especially high carbon steel like this, you do not want to run through a dishwasher. And I'm not talking about knives I make. I'm talking about like Chicago cutlery, the basic high carbon steel knives that you would buy and hold an edge, and you can resharpen them. Those you want to wash by hand, because the chemicals in dishwashing, I don't know what's wrong with my tongue. It does not want to work this morning. The chemicals in dishwashing powder, liquid, or them little pods, not only do they taste bad, but they're very, very hard on 1084 on high carbon steel, and it starts eating away at the steel. And anyway, because of the acid, the alkyl benzene sulfonic acid, and that is the main ingredient in dishwashing liquid. Dishwasher, not the stuff you use if you're washing by hand, because otherwise, it would burn the skin off your hands. Okay, I'm going to clean these up. I'll have a good look at them. I think they're going to be okay. And considering, that the steel is ate away, and there's nothing I can do about that except, start from scratch and sand them down beyond the pits. And to be honest, I wouldn't do that. I'd just make a new knife. But I think I'll be happy with this. Keep a little oil on it, they'll be just fine. Even if it's, Wesson oil. All right, let me clean them up, and I'll show you one more clip. And I got some of these polished and cleaned up and sharpened and needing sheaths. I'll show you them. We'll be back. Okay. So can you see the deep pits? That's really a real good example of what the chemicals in dishwashing liquid do to your non-stainless forks and knives, and mostly knives. Not terrible. Anyway, I got all the cleaning compound, and then I resharpened it, and it's okay. It's not like brand new like when I gave it to them, but I think I'll be happy with it. It's saved. Now this has a little problem, and if they don't run it through the dishwasher again, it'll probably be okay, but the heat from a dishwasher is so intense. If you've ever opened a dishwasher accidentally while it's in the middle of its drying process, then you know the kind of heat I'm talking about. Plus, it creates an enormous amount of steam. You see that little gap there? Nothing I can do about that. But it's not a big enough gap to poke any. Come on in. poke any adhesive in, but it won't get any worse. So there we are. This side's not bad. And right here there's some, and that's pretty deep. And that's as good as I can get it without totally redoing the knife and sanding it down to bare steel. Oh, alrighty. Some of these show their age and some pitting, and I'm not going to disassemble these. You know, the ones that have value now and can be used and don't need, you know, an extreme amount of repair. Like this is not so bad. I'm not going to take it apart, but I will sand the blade. This one, same thing. It has been destroyed by somebody trying to sharpen it on a grinder. I can make that, you know, I won't take it apart from here up because it's in really good shape. Really, really good shape. It's a K-bar, so I'm just going to make it like it came from the factory. A clean, nice blade. Same with this. And this too, somebody did something horrible to it. And I'll fix that. That's an experiment. So the ones that have value just the way they are, I'm not gonna go crazy trying to change the character that they have now. So this is what we got. Let me show you the name of that. Craftsman. That's why I bought it, because it had the Craftsman name. And very nice little knife. I'm gonna make a sheath for it. It came with a sheath that's not made for it, and it's not the right size. But when I make a sheath, that will be for sale. This one had very little wrong with it. All I did was clean it and polish it. And that is, I think I already showed you. And this is the sheath it fits in. It's a nice sheath. This is like a bird and trout knife. And that cleaned up nice, but it's got where somebody left rust on it, and the rust ate into the steel. But this is a convex, well, it's a convex grind. It's so because the grind would be convex, the resulting grind would be concave, but they call it a convex grind just because that's the type of wheel they use. So that's what that looks like. And the reason I'm telling you the kind of grind is because I can only do flat grinds. I can't clean that up unless I turn this into a flat grind, which would mean I would have to take, this edge would come in, or this would come up way higher, or probably even a full grind on the blade to get the convex out of it. And I'm not going to do that. So there's no rust on this. It's all clean and shiny. And who is that? K-bar. 1236 USA. Anything else on it? No. Nice little knife. There we go. And I'll make a sheath for that. And this is a tiny little thing. You still recording? Okay. 81X. E.C. Simmons is the last name. They didn't. E.C. Simmons is the company that made it. I did a lot of research before I finally come up with that. And E.C. Simmons is, you know, a real prolific knife maker. 81X. So that's what that looks like. And I'll make a little sheath for that. And all these will be for sale. This is for sale right now. I'll tell you what, I'd take $95 for this, and I'll include shipping. I'll pay for shipping. $95. And nothing needs to be done with this. And it's thick spine. That is a good thick knife. You could use this today, right out of the box. And I didn't touch the edge. It's very, very sharp as it is. So 95, I'll pay for shipping, and put a price on these after I make the sheath. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna well, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I may go out and put the filters in my truck and then come back, and I'm gonna leave the AC running in here on low. I got it nice and cool. Okay, we'll figure something out. Well, I misspoke. I think a politician said that. I was gonna go out and do some stuff, but I took one apart, and that's what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Now I will sand this out and smooth it out, and it will be a satin finish, but it will be a good looking blade. And I'll have this done today, and then that one will need a sheath. So I'll have all these will need sheaths except for this one. 3, I'll have 4 that need sheaths, and then I think, who knows, I may be able to work on these today. I do have 2 cleavers to make, and I will get to that, but I got to get some of these knives done in the leather shop and then up to my house for sale, so I can get them out of here, because they're just going to get messy and you know, covered up in dust and all that. So I kind of want to be done with this part of the knife making for a little while. I do have 2 more knives coming to me, beautiful knives, and but that's it. I'm not buying any more until I sell what I have and restore what I have. So let me get the other side ground on this, and then I'll do a little hand sanding, and I'll show you what it looks like when I got her done. Alrighty, I've got it sanded up to 400, and that's going to be a pretty blade when I'm fixing to go buff it. Let's go see how much pretty we can bring out of it. Back in a minute. Okay. Now, I'm going to polish that. I've got to put this on before I can polish that, but let me see if it's got any gouges. Yeah, I'll clean that up some. This is going to be a brand new looking knife when I'm done. All right, another 20-30 minutes, we'll have a knife. Boy, did that come out nice. Man, oh man, oh man. Way better than my than I thought it would. I mean, it looks brand new, better than brand new, I think. I don't think they polished them up at the factory. So I gotta make a sheath for this. Boy, I'm having a blast restoring these old knives. I've got 2 more at the house that I have not showed you yet. I just forgot to bring them down. I'm not like hiding them, but man, I like that. Even the horn shines up. I put it on a loose buffer with white, the lowest grit polish that I have, and it polishes the horn too. Jeez. Okay. Now I have to go and mail the knife that I finished, the BC Special. The lady paid me for it, and I'm gonna go mail it right now. And I'm completely out of Mountain Dew, which is a catastrophe. I can't believe I've lived this long without Mountain Dew. So I'm gonna go home, wash my hands a little bit, and then go box that up and then take it to the post office. I'll be back. I just remembered a funny story. I'm dirty, which is what reminded me of this story. I just mailed a knife, and I'm going back to the house and do some more work. Well, and I imagine when I go to the post office, this is how I look pretty much all the time, you know. Redneck shirt, covered in dirt. So they probably think, you know, I'm a dirty guy. And well, anyway, years ago. Charlie and I were looking at houses on a lake in Louisiana. And back then, we were making at least $200,000 a year, sometimes $250,000, $260,000. And we had money in the bank. Life was pretty good. Well, we were looking at this one house. This lady had a yard sale, and we like yard sales. But she was also selling her house, and it was right on the lake. So we pulled up there, and the reason she was having a yard sale is because she was selling her house. And we said, well, what are you asking for it? Because we're looking at houses on the lake. And she said, oh, you couldn't afford this house. I didn't know a thing about us. Just judged us by the way we looked, you know, because we didn't have fancy clothes, and I didn't have an expensive car. I had a pickup truck. And that was enough to tell her that we couldn't afford her house. And we just laughed. We didn't say, lady, we probably make more than you do. Probably got more in the bank than you got. But that was then. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny that somebody could look at you, judge you on how much house you could afford. Anyway, I thought that was funny. A funny memory. You know what's weird? When you hold the door for someone as you're walking out of a door so the door doesn't slam in their face, and they won't take the door. I opened the door for these two women behind me, my age, I mean not decrepit, not, you know, and nothing in their hands, and no Mountain Dew, by the way. I stopped at Dollar Tree, no Mountain Dew. And as I'm walking out, they're behind me, so rather than let the door slam on them, I stood facing out, and I just held the door thinking they would take the door so I could continue walking. And neither of them did. That's just weird, man. And, of course, not a thank you, nothing. People are weird. Alrighty. I just got back from mailing a box and sitting on the front porch. No Mountain Dew was to be had. I do not know what the deal is with Diet Mountain Dew. You just can't find it anywhere. So here's 3 more knives. I got these a couple days ago. I got this in just minutes ago, and let me tell you, this is a pretty knife. This is a early to mid 60 model 316P, and this is what it is. Case XX, meaning tempered twice. I'm going to clean this up right now. Here's a no brand name. I can't see any name. Well, maybe there is something there. Let me zoom it in here. Well, it does say Japan. Oh, there we go. I can't read it, but it does say Japan. Okay. So that's what that looks like. And it's in pretty good shape. And this, I'm going to have to take apart and redo the blade, but it shouldn't be terrible. As a matter of fact, I'll probably use 220 on it, on my belt grinder. And I can't quite figure out the name. I'll show you what it looks like. Maybe somebody else knows. It's got like a picture of something. Okay, 13909. No idea who makes it. So, probably won't be doing anything with them right now. Probably going to clean this up right now and put it with this batch that needs sheaths. This one is for sale. And as is. It's ready to go, finished. Alrighty, I'll show you what this looks like all cleaned up. What do you think of that? I'm sorry. I'm just admiring it. I forgot I even had the camera on. I'm just sitting here thinking, my goodness, that came so nice. Okay. Well, there's another one. Let's see. I think I'm just going to do this today. It's, past noon. I got out here pretty early, so let's just see. Who wants to go next? You're a big project, and you're going to be my first stacked leather attempt. And I'm going to buy the leather, or I got to buy a slot making stamp that I can cut slots in leather. So, you're going to require an awful lot of work. This, I don't know, maybe. I don't even think I'm going to put this on my belt grinder. I think I'm going to try to fix this by hand. So, I think I will. Let's do that. This, I got to disassemble this, but I'm not going to disassemble any knife until I'm right here ready to work on it. You know what? Let's do this knife. I already told you what that was. 1909 or something like that. 13909. I'm going to Google it and see if I can find what that little icon there. Can't tell if it's a bird or a mountain or... It's like a bird with something sticking out of its mouth. I don't know. We'll see. All right, this is next. Okay. Right below that little icon is PIC. Now, I've actually sold one before. PIC, Solingen, Germany. And, all right, let me take this apart. Okay, I'm not going to work on this today. I got to find a fatter, wider screwdriver because that will not fit over the screw. I can only get one side to fit in. And I could widen this a little more, the gap in the middle there, but then I wouldn't have enough left over to get any torque on. So I'm going to go to my other shop, not right now, and find a much bigger, fatter screwdriver. And because I have already altered this once to make it wider, and if I lose any more of these here, it'll just be too skinny to get any torque on. So let's see. I think I'm going to work on this instead. That's the one I was originally going to do anyway. I'm doing something I've never done before, and that's freehand. I think I'm going to stop on that side and do the rest by hand. But what a difference. There we go. All right, now I start the hand sanding. I'm going to start it. I don't know how much I'll get done today because it's 1:30. Well, I'm happy with that. I got all the bad stuff sanded out. I did have to come in this way on the blade edge a little bit, as you can see. But not bad. That still leaves me with plenty to start my own edge there. That's going to be a nice little knife right there. Let me just look at the end, see how much sanding I got to do on this. Not too bad. As a matter of fact, I might try buffing it before I sand just to see if these are superficial marks. All right, let me find a way to get this mounted. I don't think my vise will open up wide enough to get it in here, and I don't want to damage this, so I may try just gingerly to see if it'll work in my vise. All right, it fit, and it's pretty solid, so I'm going to go with that. It doesn't look like it's going to hurt it. We have to take a dog petting break, and then we'll get to sanding. All right. There's the side I grinded freehand. And here's the sanded side. we go. A little bit of light. Looking good. That's going to be a pretty blade right there, because everything else is just in perfect condition. Before I go home today, I will have this done. It's like 2:30. I think I can get this. That side there, the bottom side, I just got it sanded up to 150. I think I can get this done today. I'm going to do this side. This side is actually better than this side, because this side I still had some bad grinder sharpening. I may even have some here. I don't know. We'll see. All right, that's 220. I'm fixing to hit with 320, 400, 500, and then I'm going to buff it. And that will be a very long day for me. I'll show you when I get it buffed. I got about another hour of sanding to do. Holy crap, did that come out nice. Unbelievable. A lot of work, a lot of sanding. But boy, oh boy. Wow. You know, in the buffing room, I don't really get a good idea of what these look like until I get them in here and get them under the light. So, geez, that came out so nice. And I'm pretty sure I can get this one looking, now it's gonna take some hand sanding. What I do is take some 600 and I sand all the little nicks and pits and dings and all that out of the aluminum, and if the brass needs it, I do the brass. But I think I can make this look just like these, shiny and polished and brand new looking. Wow, I'm really happy with that. This has been a very long day, but a very enjoyable day. I got so many other things I need to do, but I'm having so much fun restoring these that I don't want to stop. It's sort of addictive, and I'm having a blast. All right, we are dirty and tired and hungry, and it's just about supper time for the dog. Supper time? Is it supper time? Are you hungry? Breezy? 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 Are you hungry? I believe he's losing his hearing, and I think he's losing his sight too, because sometimes he'll be looking for me and I'll have to wave my arms for him to see me. So, you know, he's getting old. Have a good, what is tomorrow? Saturday. Have a good Saturday.